Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Army, there is something huge you need to hear today. A controversy that has rocked the entire BTS fandom. And this time it's not about Jimin himself, but about someone who is incredibly close to him. That's right, we're talking about Jimin's father, Mr. Park. The name Magnate, the legendary cafe owned by Jimin's dad in the city of Busan, suddenly vanished. Gone. Rebranded. Without warning. Without a big announcement. And when the news broke, Army from all over the world completely lost it. But that's not the only thing that's been making fans angry. There is a much bigger story behind all of this. A controversy that has been quietly simmering inside the Army community for a long time. Serious accusations, questionable actions, and finally, a direct explanation from Mr. Park himself. So whether you're a diehard Army or you're just curious about the biggest drama in the BTS fandom right now, stay with me until the very end, because we're going to break all of it down today. Before we get into the controversy, we need to get familiar with the place at the center of all this drama. Magnate, a cafe located in the Namgu district of Busan, South Korea, the hometown of BTS's very own Jimin. This cafe was first opened in 2019 by Mr. Park, Jimin's biological father. And from the very first day it opened its doors, Army fell completely in love with it. Just imagine, you're traveling to Busan as an Army. You know this is the city where Park Jimin grew up. You can breathe the same air, see the same coastline he once saw as a little boy. And right there, in the middle of that city, is a cafe run directly by his beloved father. But this was no ordinary cafe. From the outside, Magnate immediately captivated visitors with its vault-style entrance door. Unique, mysterious, as if it were guarding something precious inside. And honestly, it kind of was. Step through that door, and you'd be welcomed by an interior as luxurious as a five-star hotel bar. Elegant, warm, and full of aesthetic charm. Even the restrooms were reportedly beautiful. Visitors were actually posing for photos in there. But the biggest draw of Magnate wasn't just the design. In one corner of the cafe, Jimin's personal belongings were proudly displayed. Hats, accessories, and little mementos from the idol himself. For any Army craving a deeper connection to Jimin, this place was nothing short of paradise. And the menu? Very reasonably priced. A drink averaged just 6,000 Korean won, roughly around $4 to $5 US. A slice of cake was about 7,500 won. Quality? Armies who had visited said it absolutely delivered. And the most special moment of all, the golden opportunity that some lucky visitors got, was the chance to meet Mr. Park in person. Jimin's father, famously warm and kind, just as you'd expect from the dad of someone as sweet as Jimin himself. For years, Magnate was on every international Army's bucket list. Inside the BTS community, this cafe held a status almost as iconic as any other landmark connected to the members. So you can imagine just how big the shockwave was when, out of nowhere, the name Magnate simply ceased to exist. In August 2024, the Army world was hit with news that absolutely nobody saw coming. The official Instagram account of the Magnate Cafe suddenly displayed a brand new name. The physical signboard outside the building in Busan had been replaced, and the new name was JIMIN'S. The reaction from Army? Pure chaos, confusion, sadness, panic, and of course, a whole lot of anger and questions. Why did the name suddenly change? Did something happen? Is the cafe closing down? Is something wrong with Jimin? Those questions immediately flooded the comment sections, Reddit threads, Twitter/X feeds, and every social media platform used by the Army community. Speculation poured in from every direction. Some theorized it had something to do with internal family issues. Others suspected pressure from HYB or Big Hit Music. A few thought it was simply a routine rebrand. But nobody had the real answer, until Mr. Park himself finally came forward to speak. Through an official post on the cafe's Instagram account, Mr. Park delivered a full and clear explanation to all concerned customers and worried Army members. Here's what he said. Hello, we have an important announcement for all of our valued customers. Our cafe, previously known as Magnate in Busan, has been renamed to JIMIN'S. And here is the reason he gave. This change was caused by an unrelated company that registered the trademark Magnate and attempted to sell products under that name. We want to clarify that any social media activity, product sales, or operations under the name MAGNATE have no connection to us whatsoever. To avoid further confusion, we have decided to adopt a new name. We kindly ask our customers to be careful and avoid any inconvenience that may arise from purchasing products from unrelated third-party sources. We appreciate your continued support and look forward to welcoming you under our new name, JIMIN'S. So there you have it, Army. The truth. Not a family drama. Not a problem with Jimin. Not any kind of pressure from the agency. It was a serious trademark dispute. Another company, one that has absolutely nothing to do with Mr. Park or the Jimin family, had officially registered the name MAGNATE as their own trademark and started selling products under it. That means if Jimin's dad had continued using the name MAGNATE, he could have faced legal action from that company. And rather than get tangled in an unnecessary legal battle or leave customers confused, Mr. Park made the smart and sensible move: rename and start fresh. As for the new name, JIMIN'S isn't just a random word. Mr. Park explained that it combines the word millennial, meaning 1,000 years, with the letter Z representing Generation Z, what we now commonly call Generation MZ. The name reflects Mr. Park's desire to build a meaningful, long-lasting relationship with the younger generation, including, of course, the Army community, many of whom are exactly that generation. After this clarification, a lot of Army finally breathed a sigh of relief. The biggest mystery had been solved, and the explanation turned out to be not just logical, but actually a sign of how wisely Mr. Park handles his business. But, dramatic pause, we're not done yet, Army. Because it turns out, the MAGNATE name controversy was only the tip of the iceberg in a much longer debate that's been boiling inside the BTS fandom. Now we get into the part that has generated the most heat. The part that has genuinely split the Army fandom into two very loud camps. Long before the MAGNATE name issue ever surfaced, there had already been a series of actions by Mr. Park that some BTS fans began to seriously question. Let's go through them one by one. The first accusation centers on the cafe itself. While opening a business is something completely normal and perfectly acceptable for any idol's parent, what bothered a portion of Army was the way Mr. Park ran the business, specifically, how closely tied it was to capitalizing on Jimin's name and image. Beyond displaying Jimin's personal belongings in the cafe, Mr. Park also reportedly displayed merchandise related to the fan-made pairing of Jimin and Jungkook, known in the fandom as Kookmin, and was even said to have signed Kookmin couple photos that fans brought with them to the cafe. To some Army, this felt deeply out of place. Jungkook is not a member of Mr. Park's family. Signing couple photos of two idols felt like it went well beyond the role of a supportive parent. The second accusation is the one that really raised eyebrows across the fandom. Mr. Park reportedly held official fan sign events, the kind of fan engagement format that is traditionally reserved exclusively for idols themselves, and signed autographs as though he were an actual K-pop artist, despite being the father of a BTS member, not an entertainer in his own right. For a significant portion of Army, this felt like direct exploitation of Jimin's fame. An event like this, they argued, was monetizing Jimin's idol status in a way that no parent of an artist should be doing. The third accusation involves the BTS concert for Busan City Promotion, a major concert where BTS partnered with the Busan city government as part of a national tourism initiative. Mr. Park was reportedly actively involved in arrangements tied to the event, including signing a deal with a hotel in which he received referral fees or commissions when BTS fans traveling to Busan for the concert stayed at the hotel he was affiliated with. Again, nothing technically illegal about it. But to many Army, it felt unmistakably like leveraging his son's fame for personal financial gain, potentially without Jimin's direct knowledge or approval. And the fourth accusation, perhaps the most controversial of all, is that Mr. Park eventually began selling his own merchandise related to BTS and Jimin. The most talked about item was what became known as the Papa Sign t-shirt, a t-shirt sold at around $36, using his own signature as the main selling point, and clearly targeting the loyal fan base that follows his son. For a large portion of Army, this was the line being crossed. This was no longer just a proud father. This was a business directly capitalizing on his son's idol status, without official clearance from the agency, and without any public transparency about whether Jimin himself knew or approved. When all of these controversies came to the surface at once, ARMY split into two very vocal camps, and both sides came out swinging. The first group, those who were angry and disappointed. Their arguments were strong. K-pop idols, including Jimin, work incredibly hard to build their names and their reputations from scratch. The fact that someone happens to be related to an idol does not automatically entitle them to profit from that idol's fame. Parents of other BTS members, including V's family and Jungkook's family, have chosen to stay completely out of the spotlight, never attaching their names to businesses built around their sons. And many in this camp worried that these actions could ultimately damage Jimin's professional image, especially if merchandise and events were being organized without official approval from HYB or Jimin himself. The second group, those who defended Mr. Park. Their arguments were equally strong. Mr. Park never once claimed to be Jimin. He is a businessman who happens to be the father of one of the most famous idols on the planet, running a cafe, signing photos for fans who voluntarily visit, even selling merchandise. None of that is illegal as long as it doesn't violate any exclusivity agreements with the agency. And for many ARMY who had actually visited the cafe in person, Mr. Park came across as genuinely warm, generous, and sincerely appreciative of every single fan who walked through his door, not someone greedy or manipulative. And perhaps most critically, there has been no official statement from Jimin himself suggesting that he is uncomfortable or that he disapproves of his father's actions. This debate is still ongoing. And honestly, there is no clean, 100% right or wrong answer here. This is a deeply complex gray area where Korean cultural values around family and business, the dynamics of the K-pop industry, and the expectations of an incredibly passionate global fan base all collide with each other at once. Setting all the controversy aside for a moment, there are a few genuinely important lessons we can take away from everything that has happened here. First, regarding the MAGNATE to JIMIN'S name change. This is actually a strong and smart example of how to handle a business crisis. When faced with a trademark dispute, Mr. Park didn't try to fight it in court or manufacture drama. He made a clear, practical decision, explained the situation transparently to his customers, and moved forward under a fresh identity. That is genuinely good business judgment. Second, the broader controversy about how Mr. Park has run his businesses is a reminder of something we often forget. The K-pop industry is extraordinarily complex. Idols are not just artists. They are brands, they are assets, and everything connected to their names carries significant commercial weight and legal implications. Third, as fans, we need to practice separating an idol from their family members. Jimin is Jimin. Mr. Park is Mr. Park. A father's actions do not automatically reflect the values or wishes of the son. And equally, our love for Jimin should not drive us to pass harsh judgment on every single decision his parent makes. And fourth, and this might be the most important point of all, we genuinely do not know what happens inside the Park family. We don't know what conversations have taken place between Jimin and his father. We don't know what private agreements or understandings may exist between them. Making assumptions without enough information is the root cause of most unnecessary fandom drama. Alright, ARMY, that is the full breakdown of the massive controversy surrounding Jimin's dad and the name MAGNATE that shook the BTS fandom to its core. From one small cafe in Busan, from one quiet name change announcement, a conversation was born that grew far bigger than anyone expected, about the line between family and idol, about business ethics in the K-pop world, and about how we as fans respond to things that exist entirely outside of our idol's control. If you ask me personally, I think Mr. Park is a father who loves his son deeply, and that love, in some ways, has naturally spilled into the way he runs his business. Whether that's right or wrong, that's exactly what the fandom is still debating. What's certain is that MAGNATE is gone. JIMIN'S has taken its place. And Jimin, who was serving his mandatory military duty when all of this controversy reached its peak, probably just hopes that everything can be settled peacefully. Because at the end of the day, what matters most to someone like Jimin is that his father is healthy, his business is thriving, and every ARMY who makes the trip to Busan goes home with beautiful memories. So what do you think? Was Mr. Park's behavior fair, or did he cross a line? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. I genuinely want to hear what you all think about this one. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, Subscribe so you never miss the latest BTS and K-pop updates. And share this with any ARMY who deserves the full story behind this controversy. Until next time, Sarangi ARMY, Purple Heart.